There is a moment that happens in a room you have never been in before. A desk, a chair across from you, someone in a shirt with a logo on it who has done this several hundred times. The room is always a little too warm. There is always coffee somewhere, the kind that has been sitting too long. The carpet is always the same shade of gray that means this is a serious place where serious things happen. And the number on the paper is always just slightly more than you planned, but the person across from you is smiling. And the system said yes. The system always says yes. That is the part nobody tells you. The system is not your friend. The system is not your enemy. The system does not know your name. It just runs the numbers and tells you what you qualify for, not what you can afford, what you qualify for. There is a difference. Most people learn that difference the hard way. In a month, when everything lines up wrong, when the car payment is due and the transmission goes and the daycare raises its rates, and none of those things are emergencies exactly, but together they are something that doesn't have a name yet. Tonight, 3 people who found out what that difference costs. One at 18, one at 31, one the week she packed 2 bags and drove away. The first one starts in a showroom. It was a Saturday in August, 11:14 in the morning. The lot was already hot. He had just turned 18 4 days earlier. He had saved $1,200. That was the number he had. 11 months of weekend shifts at a hardware store. He knew the exact figure because he had been watching it since February. $1,200. It felt like a lot when you were 18 and you saved it yourself. He walked onto the lot looking for something used, something reliable, something that would get him to work and back. He left with a Chrysler. Not used, new. He walked onto the lot looking for something used, something reliable, something that would get him to work and back. He left with a Chrysler, not used, new, $28,000. He doesn't remember exactly how it happened. That is the part he keeps coming back to. He remembers the salesman's name. He remembers the color of the car. He remembers the way the seat felt when he sat in it for the first time. The dashboard was clean. The smell was specific. He remembers thinking, this smells like the kind of car people drive when they have figured things out. He does not remember the moment he decided to buy a $28,000 car with $1,200 in his account. It just happened. The salesman asked what he was looking for. He said something reliable. The salesman said, what about something reliable and new? The system ran his numbers. He had no credit history, which meant in the logic of the system, he had no bad credit history. The system approved him, 28.9%. He did not know what 28.9% meant. He was 18. Nobody had told him. The payment was $640 a month. He was making $1,100 a month. He signed. He remembers driving off the lot, the windows down, the August heat, the radio on. He had a car. He had a job. He was 18 and he had done something nobody had helped him do. The first month the payment came out and he had $460 left. He told himself that was fine. He would pick up more shifts. The second month his hours got cut. He had $190 left after the payment. He did not tell anyone. He ate at his parents' house 4 nights a week and told them he was just coming by to visit. The third month he was 11 days late. A fee was added, $45. He paid it. The fourth month, he was 22 days late, another fee. His credit score dropped 40 points. He did not fully understand what that meant yet. He just knew the number went down. Here is what 28.9% means on a $28,000 loan over 72 months. He would pay $26,000 in interest on top of the $28,000 principal, $54,000. For a car that would be worth $8,000 by the time he finished paying for it. He did not know this when he signed. The number was on the paper. It was always on the paper. He just didn't know what to look for. A 3-year-old Civic at $12,000, $240 a month, would have left him $860 after the payment, instead of $460. Would have let him eat, would have let him save, would have cost him $12,000 instead of $19,000 for something he no longer owns. He sold the car 14 months later. He owed $24,000 on it. He got $14,000 for it. He wrote a check for the difference, $10,000. Gone. Plus the 14 months of payments he had already made, $8,960. He was 19. He had spent almost $19,000 on a car he no longer owned, and a credit score that now had a story on it. The second story starts with a number, 599. 1 point below the threshold most lenders use to separate prime from subprime. He knew the number. He had checked it the night before. He went to the dealership anyway. It was a Tuesday in March, 2:30 in the afternoon. The showroom was quiet. The Range Rover was by the window, the white one. He had looked at that specific model online for 2 years. He told himself he was just looking. He still thinks about that. The just looking. He had said it to his wife that morning, "I'm just going to look." She had said okay. She trusted him. He was 31. They had 2 kids, a mortgage that was tight but manageable, 2 cars that worked. He had wanted a Range Rover since he was 23. The salesman saw him looking at the white one. He asked if he wanted to sit in it. He sat in it. The leather was cold. The smell was specific. New car and money and something else he couldn't name but recognized immediately. He sat there for almost a minute before he said anything. The salesman waited. He said, "Tell me about the financing." The salesman ran the numbers. The score came back, 599. The salesman did not say, "We can't help you." He said, "Let me see what I can do." That sentence, "let me see what I can do," means one thing. It means the bank will lend you the money at a rate that reflects how much risk they think you are. $72,000, 11.4%, 84 months, $1,280 a month. He called his wife. He told her the number. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "That's a lot." He said, "We can make it work." She said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yes." She trusted him. He signed. Here's what $1,280 a month does to a household that was already tight. The mortgage was $1,900. The other car was $380. The daycare was $1,600. Total fixed cost before groceries, $5,160. Their combined take-home was $6,200. $1,040 left for everything else. He knew this. He had done the maths. He did it differently the second time. The second time, the maths came out the way he needed it to. He did not show his wife the second version. He told himself he would tell her when things settled. Things did not settle. 8 months later, they missed a mortgage payment. Not because something went wrong, because $1,040 a month is not enough for a family of 4 to live on. The lender called on a Thursday morning. His wife answered. He was at work. She called him after. She didn't say anything for a moment when he picked up. Then she said, "I thought we could make it work." He said, "I know." She said, "You said we could make it work." He said, "I know." He still drives the Range Rover. He is 4 years in, 3 years left. The leather still smells the same. He noticed it last week when he got in. He sat there for a moment before starting the engine. The same smell. His wife does not ask about the finances anymore. Not because things are better, because the conversation costs more than she has left to spend on it. There is a version of this story where he says no, where he sits in the leather seat for almost a minute and then gets out. Thanks the salesman. Drives home. Tells his wife he looked at it and it wasn't right. She would have believed him. She trusted him. In that version, he goes back 3 months later with a 620 score and a different question. Not what do I qualify for? What can I actually afford? He did not stop. The third story starts 6 days after the kitchen floor. 6 days is not very long. It is long enough. The system did not fail her. The system worked exactly as designed. She had a 740 score, a steady income, 2 years of payment history on the joint account. She also had a phone with 47 screenshots on it, 2 bags packed, and a kitchen floor she had sat on for 10 minutes the previous Tuesday. She needed a car. She had written it on a piece of paper that morning. One thing, just one thing today, get a car. She had not slept, not the night before, not the night before that. The babies were at her mother's. She had 3 hours. She needed a car. She needed it today. The salesman asked what she was looking for. She said something reliable, under $300 a month. She had said those words very carefully that morning in the mirror. Something reliable, under $300 a month. She said them again to the salesman, the same words, in the same order. He showed her the $30,000 SUV. She said that's not under $300 a month. He said, with your score, we could get you close. With your score, we could get you close. She was tired. She had not slept. The babies were at her mother's. She had 3 hours. She just needed it to be over. She sat in the SUV. It was clean. It was safe. It had good reviews. She thought about the babies in the back seat, the car seats clicking in, something solid, something that was hers, just hers. Not his name on the title, not his account paying for it. Hers. The payment was $494 a month. Not $300, $494. She looked at the number for a long time. The salesman said he could try to get it lower. She said it was fine. She signed anyway. Here's what $494 a month costs when your household income just split in half. She was making $3,200 a month. The rent she had found was $1,400. Daycare for 2 was $1,800. $3,200 in. $3,694 in fixed costs. Before groceries, before utilities, before anything. She had done the maths on her phone the night before. She had looked at the number for a long time in the dark. $494 in the minus column. She knew it when she signed. She signed anyway. She paid off the SUV last year, 4 years early. She made double payments for 8 months when she got the settlement. The title came in the mail on a Tuesday. Her name on it, just hers. She still drives it. The babies are bigger now. They climb in themselves. She does not think about the Friday afternoon very often. But sometimes when she gets in and it smells like that smell, she remembers. The salesman. The room that was too warm. The number that was not $300. The version of herself that was so tired she signed anyway. She does not blame that version. She just does not want to be her again. Here's the number the system uses that nobody explains. Debt to income ratio. Total monthly debt payments divided by gross monthly income. Lenders approve up to 43%, sometimes higher, because the system is not deciding if you can afford this. It is deciding if it can recover its money if you cannot. Those are not the same question. The 18-year-old had a debt-to-income ratio of 58% on the day he drove off the lot. The system approved it. The family of 4 had a debt-to-income ratio of 83% after the Range Rover. The system approved it. Shelby had a debt-to-income ratio of 115% the month she moved into the apartment. The system approved the car. The system does not live in the apartment. The number that matters is not what the system approves. It is what leaves your account every month after every fixed cost is paid. If that number is not enough to absorb one bad month, the system has already decided you can afford it. The system just hasn't told you yet. 3 people, 3 different rooms, 3 different numbers on 3 different papers. One at 18, one at 31, one on a Friday when she had not slept, and the babies were at her mother's. The system said yes to all of them. The system always says yes when the numbers work out for the system, not for you. for the system. The question the system never asks, what happens to you the month after you sign? That is not the system's problem, that is yours. There is a room happening right now, a desk, a chair across from someone in a shirt with a logo on it, a number on a paper that is slightly more than planned. The room is a little too warm, the carpet is gray. The system has already run the numbers. The system is about to say yes. Before you pick up the pen, one question. Not what do you qualify for, what happens the month after you sign? If you can answer that, sign. If you can't, put down the pen.